I knew that we should never have trusted.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well. Nothing personal. We just have different views. The real.
Ближе к сути. Задание. Церемония Вознесения.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the... Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the gold. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? Oh, it seems that some...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you... Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather...
No, don't let her get to... You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And so it might be best to keep things peaceful this...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since...
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted...
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against... Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well. Nothing personal. We just have different views. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you...
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait! That's an exciting twist in a...
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing?
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue, together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, that's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents.
In the end, the resolution to take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There was only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death.
Huh? That doesn't...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the...
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Лялялку свою закрой.
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter.
Fine. I'll meet you there
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going... So Rex Lapis is... Oh, come on. There's only one real possibility at Fatui. They certainly are... Shh! Lower your voice.
You know that god from the ocean.
Yes, and to think that...
Say.
Now that you mention it, that's... I mean, it all fits... Still, what sort of...
Ah, forget it.
Hear ye all! The Chi sings words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. Gods and adepti live glorious lives. Rumors and hearsay abound on the street, having been thwarted in his trial. Rex Lapis's soul has... Nor are they to believe street-born rumors, or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chi Sing's announcement... So that something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up? Look, could the Chi Sing already have... Did Zhongli tell them in secret? Exactly, right? Oop. Look, it's Ningguang and Kuching. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking the...
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient...
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. Name your price.
Whoa...
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Roping you in was...
The cleanup of the premises?
Why, you... Were you just trying to look cool earlier? Or are you... If you were looking for someone...
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this! Everyone in Liyue is caught up in... And here you are looking up...
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time.
Ha! That sounds like...
You're right. I do lack the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen... When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, that is true. But there is no journey that does not end.
Paimon thinks that...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The Electro-Archon Ball.
Paimon thinks we've heard that...
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the
That said, though people at the war for Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control. But if a person shows true strength of will at a death, this is what visions are.
That's...
But starting from last year...
Vision hunted?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within...
They want to seize visions?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun...
Whoa!
The Animo Archon is the god... The fact that even I, knowing her, she must... 7 ideals for 7 gods. All right then. Was there anything else you wish? Well then...
Продолжение в следующей серии. Подписка, лайк, коммент, соцсети в описании.
I didn't know you were such a slacker.